So as we were just talking, I said it's important to have not peace of mind, but peace from your mind.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think I meant? How did you translate that?
Yeah. I felt like that was an interesting sentence just to start with.
It's deep.
Yeah. So you're saying peace of mind or be at peace with your mind?
The second one. Because I've been thinking about this a lot. Your mind goes into a million different directions, especially when it's anxious, especially when it's uncertain. And you have to live with your mind. You have to live with those thoughts.
Sure.
So the point isn't to try and every time attain peace, because peace or happiness, as subjective as it is, can often be a journey, a destination rather than necessarily steps you take to always be happy.
Sure.
Because I was doing a lot of research for this podcast, and even though we were both quite vague about it, I knew that you enjoy deep topics.
Of course,
so I was like, so what's better to start with than the absolute chaos of what is modern day society?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, so I think this is a topic that I cover a lot on my podcast, on my YouTube, on my lives. But I think we all think about the world in different ways. Being comfortable with uncertainty, I think that's the key lesson that I've taken from life. And again, it's not me saying that I'm an expert or anything. I think everyone moves through life in the way that they're comfortable with. So yeah, I think coming to peace with uncertainty means you're living life properly, in my view.
And what does uncertainty mean for Zareen?
I think uncertainty is life, everyday life. Like you can't predict what the person in front of you will react in whatever way they will. You can't predict what will happen in your life, in your job. And I think the past few years, a lot of people, especially my friendship group, there's lots of uncertainty that has played out. So job redundancies, relationship breakdowns, family breakdowns, like these things will happen in everyone's life. And I think that's the key thing is how you respond to a trial that allows you to either overcome it or to get through it properly. So I think that's my view of that.
To go a bit deeper.
Sure.
We spoke about this literally on the last podcast with Ian, therapy and addiction. And Ian is someone who, not to plug the podcast, but just some, just some context, right? Yes. He said, because I was saying it takes more than two people to raise a child. And he said it's an African proverb.
Sure.
It takes a village to raise a child. What that says to me with uncertainty and like you said, your friends and your groups
things
of people.
Happening.
Is that as a society, we no longer look after the collective, because this society is a very much a me,
yes,
my career, my love life. And when you keep only doing things for yourself, and the studies show this, people in, I would say, capitalistic societies are generally less happy than people who might come from what we might describe as less progressive country, but a country where they have ways in which they deal with their struggles through community, through each other.
Yeah.
And Ian's example actually was, he said, I'm natively from the Caribbean. And people are just happier there with much less. What do you think of that?
I agree. And I think also, I'm assuming you are Muslim as well.
I'm Muslim, yes.
So our Prophet, peace be upon him, his lifestyle was one of minimalism. And how did that serve him? In many ways. When those who have more, that's a test. It's a form of risk, and it's a form of it's a privilege to have. So on this earth, the way we move through it is we understand that it's something that's given to us, not something that we ourselves have earned. Even though, yes, you can say, I'm a smart person, I worked hard for this, I deserve this. Let's keep going, as you said, with the me. But that inherently is not the lesson here, because you didn't get that, like that was from God. So I think for me, that's what keeps me grounded, is understanding, look, in the end, if all of this was gone, would I still be happy? Most likely, like the things that you care about, it's not all the stuff, the fluff, which is the materialistic things that people tend to strive towards. And I feel like for me in my life, the moments when I've had nothing or that something's been taken away from me, there's always a lesson in it. And that's, again, a verse in our Quran, which says, you know, with hardship comes ease, or sometimes you like something and it's not good for you. You know, understand it for that rather than like keep chasing for it, right?
Sometimes you want something that isn't good for you.
Yes.
Because you don't have the foresight and the sabr, the patience.
Yes.
And even from a non-religious perspective, you know, there's a beautiful saying. It's like, if something is meant for you. Let me start that again, because this could be a great clip.
It's fine.
Even from a non-religious perspective,
yes,
there's a beautiful saying that says, if something is meant for you, it will reach you even if it's between two mountains. And when something isn't written or meant for you, it will miss you even if it's between both your lips.
Crazy.
The closeness of your lips.
Yes.
And you touched on a really good point, and it might sound obvious to a lot of people, but I think sometimes you need to hear it to understand it, because knowledge isn't understanding. I can give you the knowledge that this mic works.
Yes.
But how it works and how it inputs into the system is then the understanding.
True.
So it's important to understand what we say. And inherently, humans tend to be a bit selfish. And I suppose we're always, through millions of years of evolution, not just religion.
True.
We're constantly in a state of paranoia and wanting more and always wanting to be happy.
Yes.
But the only thing that's actually available to you to be happy is your surroundings and the journey.
Yes.
The point isn't that I will be a millionaire one day. The point is that hopefully when I'm there, I'm happy and I enjoyed my time there.
Agreed.
I did it in a way that benefited people around me. Because as we're noticing with this capitalist society that we live in, you give people something and the next year they want the newer version of it.
Yes.
iPhones are the best example.
Yeah.
For well over a decade, I could be a bit off with the numbers. Everyone kept getting or trying to get the new iPhone every year.
Really?
Until they actually realized, hold on, they're not actually making wholesale changes here. But it was the marketing.
It was the phase. And it's, as you said, it's, I guess, herd mentality. And again, I don't want to act like I know more than anyone else either, because I don't feel like I've ever been fazed by those kind of things. And I think that comes from my upbringing and from my parents, and that they've taught me that what the value actually is in life. And I think that's what we owe it to our parents or whoever is influencing you in terms of your decision making. We owe it to them to act in the way we're proud to be on this earth for. And I think that's why I never care about those things.
Well, at some point you must have.
Honestly, no. And the only time, even right now, I finally got an iPhone just because I got a Mac for the first time. Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be material things.
No, but I'm trying to explain, like, it's when something is necessary or when it's been, okay, I do need to make this change because I had this phone for ages and it was breaking down. Then I will make that change. But it's never, oh, I can't wait to have this thing because everyone's going to think I'm so cool.
My concern often is that everyone learns what's important a bit too late. How can we as a society re-educate each other to not be there sat with regret at the age of 60? Because that's what I'm realizing.
Yeah.
And I suppose the overarching point I'm trying to get at when I said it takes more than two people to raise a child is that where did our society lose touch? When did everyone become so
self-absorbed?
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. I think it's the capitalistic society has created this. It's a beast of its own function. So, for example, if you're at work, and also I was a victim of this in many ways too, you see the way you move up is working more hours, looking after yourself, and getting more money. Like you get the promotions in that way. So if your trajectory is like this, obviously by default there has to be people that are below you to have that hierarchy, and then you get the top banding, etc. So then let's say if you've got that thinking and you spend so many hours at work, that's going to seep into your personal life too. So then you think, okay, if you're applying it to the dating world, I'm going to have better. Grass is always greener. And you constantly have this attitude towards more. But then with that thinking, you never get to a point of self-satisfaction, I guess, or deeper fulfillment, because the thing you're chasing is by nature nothing.
Yeah. There's a beautiful school of thought that says the ultimate freedom is to not need anything.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching that clip. If you enjoyed it, here's the full podcast right here on my right, maybe your left. I'm not sure how YouTube works. Or here is another clip right here. Take care, everybody. See you on the next one.